Do you think drivers respect pedestrians in the United States?
Yes, they do.
And why do you say that?
Why do I say that is because, you know, accidents could happen and they know if they hit somebody, they're gonna be sued. And they better watch out for pedestrians. They always have to. That's the main thing in United States. Sometimes I'm waiting for a car to go by and they just look at me and say, come on, go. And I go. I think that, and I always try to thank them when they do that to me.
Actually, I think they might respect them, but here's the thing. I think drivers get irritated when they see people crossing the street looking on their phones, nonchalant, especially if the driver has the green light and they're walking against the red. And so, overall, of course, no one's trying to hurt anybody at the end of the day, right? Everybody's trying to get where they're trying to go. Work, job, play, whatever it is. But I think both parties need to be aware of each other, and then everything will go smooth.
You think that both parties need to be responsible for each other?
Exactly. They both do. Like, for example, a lot of times I'm going to work, right? And I see, somebody blatantly crossing the red, and I have the green, and I'm supposed to stop for them, obviously, because I don't want to hit them, right, and have a case. But it's just weird that people just are not caring about their own lives, So everybody has to do their part. That's why there's the rules of the road for drivers. That's why we pass the driver's test, right? So we're supposed to stop and yield, obviously, in crosswalks if there are no stoplights or just stop signs. And pedestrians are supposed to look both ways before crossing the street like they did when we were little kids. They used to tell us that all the time. Don't know why that left some adults, but,
So let's not talk about pedestrians who are looking at their phones or going through red lights. Do you think generally drivers stop for pedestrians when it's a green light or it's a crosswalk?
A lot of them don't. Obviously, that's why they have police stings and stuff like that. Some drivers are oblivious because they're paying attention to their cell phones, or maybe they're in an argument with somebody in the car, it's pissing them off, or they're, under influence of something. So overall, the basic picture is there's got to be more respect than non-respect, or else people will be laying out on the road every day. So I believe that it is generally, there is respect. The majority is yes, there is respect. Clearly there is, because you don't hear crashes going on every day and stuff,
Well, I think it differs between where I grew up. I think I grew up in Portland, Oregon, by the way. I came to the Bay Area, San Francisco in 2006. In Portland, Oregon, I always know I'm in Portland when I step off the plane and I'm starting to walk around the streets, taking public transportation and stuff, because immediately the drivers in Portland, Oregon are very respectful. Like, I'm shocked at how much they stop. They hella want you to pass. Portland, their attitude towards pedestrians and people in general, like if you're walking down the street in the neighborhood, everyone will say hi to you even if they don't know you. And I think that's the population density. There's 75% less people in Portland, Oregon than the Bay Area, San Francisco, California. But in San Francisco, it's way different. The respect that the Bay Area or San Franciscans or Oaklanders or whatever, wherever you are in the Bay, the cars are more impatient. They want to go first. You have to be, I think, more careful as a pedestrian. But there's just not as much courtesy as in Portland, Oregon. Like I said, in Portland, like 99.9% of the time, the cars are letting you go first, and they're very slow around pedestrians. They're making sure they're waving their hands. I'm just like, wow, thank you. Like every time I'm like, oh, I'm in Portland. Like when I got off the plane, I'm walking around and I'm like, okay, I'm in Portland. I can feel it. That difference is so huge between Portland and San Francisco Bay Area. So
I feel, I guess in my experience in our neighborhood, I don't feel that drivers really respect people that are pedestrians, like people that are walking down the street, especially crossing the street. The street that we live on is kind of a thoroughfare through the city of San Francisco. And I almost feel like I am inconveniencing the driver because I want to cross the street. I simply want to go to the grocery store, and I have to cross the street in front of them. I feel like I inconvenience them. And I have noticed that some people will slow down when they cross the street to make a point to the drivers, but I think that just pisses the drivers off even more. So I'm at this weird place where I just want to cross the street normally. I don't want to piss anyone off. I just want to cross the street.
Now I'm gonna have you look at some videos of Taiwan, and I just want to know how you feel about after you watch those videos, okay?
Yes. Híjole.
It's music. Is that naturally playing?
That's actually for the garbage trucks.
Oh.
When you hear that music, that means it's time to take out your garbage.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I thought it was an ice cream truck, man. I was like, jeez. Wow. That first video, it looked like there's no lights or anything. Am I right in seeing it?
There's lights in some places there aren't.
All right, let me see the second one. My gosh, this scooter culture is real out there. Oh, man. I'm surprised. I didn't think Taiwan looked this modern for some reason. I was thinking, oh man, these people crossing the street and this video right here. Okay. Oh. Wow. Man, play at your own risk in the streets, boy. It's free for all, for real. Alright, I finished them.
Tons of mopeds parked in front of a shop. Okay, you're a pedestrian crossing. Wow. I would say they have skills in maneuvering through crowds, or the mopeds have skills like being right next to the cars. Are there any traffic lights?
There are.
It's pretty amazing how they like can crisscross over each other so quickly without crossing each other. Wow, a bunch of mopeds ahead of the cars. Kind of seems like the mopeds rule reality here. Like, they're in the same lanes as the cars. Holy shit. I mean, they're maneuvering pretty well. I would say they maneuver really well around cars and people. Holy... I mean, the cars and the bikes are really next to each other. Like, the mopeds, the pedestrians, the cars, like, they maneuver around each other, and they just wait for an open spot. Like, they just keep pushing. Different than in the United States with the traffic and light laws. But I would also have to say that that requires some serious skills for pedestrians, cars, and mopeds to, like... I'm amazed at how close the people are to the cars and the mopeds, and how the cars, mopeds, and people all, like, work around each other seamlessly. And there's, like... It doesn't look like there's any accidents. I mean, maybe, I don't know, I don't have the statistics, but they look like they're seamlessly moving around each other and in very crazily close contact. Like the cars and the people are really close to each other when they pass. Same with the mopeds. Serious skills. I'm impressed.
I like the song.
Those are the garbage trucks.
Okay. Lots of little Vespas. Good, nice green plants. Yeah, this is amazing. Where are all the cars? People walking on the street. Car, motorcycle. Do the motorcycles have a lane?
Not really.
There is that little white lane. Look at, they're all there. They're so cute. Trucks. Yeah, all the motorcycles are out in front of the cars, basically, and on the side of the cars. It seems like there's lots more cabs. Pedestrians walking. Whoa! There's a car that went right in between a moped. Oh! Right. This doesn't look like there's a light there. So that one looked like it was more of just like a stop sign sort of situation where pedestrians do kind of have the right of way. I didn't see any pedestrian get upset with any car or motorcycle that like went in between them or went right up to the crosswalk. I think in my neighborhood, pedestrians would be really upset if the cars came right up to the walkway. I think that would really piss off some pedestrians. What? Look, they're not getting mad. No one's getting mad as the car pulls right in front of the family holding hands and turns. That's wild. I would be kind of grumpy with them.
So after watching those videos, what are your thoughts?
Oh my goodness, that is really bad, to tell you the truth. Those drivers almost drive over those people. They're crossing and they don't even stop or let them go first. No, they have to go first. And to me, that is really dangerous because they don't respect them. And the pedestrians try to walk, but the cars go by. They don't care. They're careless. They don't care for them. They just, it's scary. It's really scary, to tell you the truth. You know, for olders, for old people, young people, children with parents, whatever, is not safe for them to cross the street because those cars don't even stop or slow down. They just go by like nothing, like they are zero. They're not, the people there is zero to the driver. They don't care, period.
Man, it seems like it's every man for himself in Taiwan. It's like there are no rules. Like you just cross whatever you want to cross. Hopefully you make it across the street. People see you. But pedestrians heads on the swivel there though. I didn't see nobody like just going straight. Everybody's kind of looking around. You know, they're trying to survive to make it. So, yeah, I think America is looking pretty good actually compared to what I saw there. You know, because Taiwan is definitely in its own little thing. It's doing its own thing.
After seeing those videos, like, I'm questioning my reaction to cars and pedestrians. I feel like if I was that family trying to walk across the street and a car turned right in front of me, I would be really upset. But because that person wasn't upset, I don't know. I just feel confused. but I think like deep down, I really want pedestrians to feel safe. I want our world to have more walkers and bikers than big giant cars.
After watching the video, I noticed you said you were impressed and you mentioned a lot of actually really interesting things that I do agree with. But if you went to Taiwan and visited there, how would you feel as a pedestrian? Do you think it's safer here or safer out there?
That's a really good question, because it explains how their society developed rules around driving and pedestrians, and how our society developed rules around driving and pedestrians. So is treating us like children that don't know how to move around vehicles a better thing? I meant, is treating people like dumbasses out here, like that don't know how to move around vehicles, whatever. Is that a better thing? Or is the way that they're doing more dangerous? You know, the way that Taiwan is, where the people are, like I said, I think I can't really say what I can tell about safety from watching these videos and knowing the United States. I would say I would have to know statistics, because I like hard facts of knowing, okay, so are there less accidents in Taiwan? You know, is it actually, are the people developing skills that we're not developing out here in terms of, you know, mobility around cars, pedestrians, and mopeds? I was really surprised with how closely they all are to each other and how seamlessly they move, how their quick reflexes and responses. And I mean, obviously the videos don't have any pictures. I mean, they don't have any showings of accidents. So like I said, I don't have any statistics to say, hey, I for no sure that it's safer in Taiwan than in America, or it's safer in America than Taiwan. I can't tell you that.
Would you feel more comfortable walking the streets of San Francisco or the streets in Taiwan after watching those videos? For you?
I personally don't have the skills that the Taiwanese have developed. I personally feel like it's kind of like the Vietnamese food we had today, like where everything was separated versus everything in a bowl. The stuff that is all in a bowl is like the Taiwanese pedestrian car moped situation. Everything's just mixed all together in one spot, and then the separating thing is more like the American, you know, like how we wait for the light, then the people go, then, you know, the light turns red and then the cars go, you know what I mean? So it's like everything's separated here a bit more. Personally, I have the skills of an American, so I think I would feel safer here than walking around. I mean, I'm a dancer, so I have reflex skills, but like the general public, I don't think has those. Like Americans have that in Taiwan. I don't know. I don't think Americans would do very well with that situation.
I don't have statistics myself, but I am going to tell you from my personal experience, and this was all over the main island of Taiwan, especially on the West Coast and in cities. If I was driving a lot that day, I would probably see at least 5 accidents a day.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, I mean, that's the in-person perspective. I can rely on that so now, okay, so what you filmed me before, in my head, what I was thinking was that maybe they were more skilled in a way, but it does turn out that apparently that method is a mess, from what I hear from you telling me that you saw like 5 accidents, right? A day or whatever. So yeah, now that changes my perspective completely, in terms of thinking whether it's safer there or not. Yeah, I thought that made a difference, that people were, I think you need rules, obviously. So that's an indicator that maybe what's going on here is working out for the Americans, and it could work out there as well. It could prevent a lot of accidents. Well, it didn't look like there was traffic lights. So
They do have traffic lights, not everywhere, but they do.
okay, so the behavior. So then, I mean, how do you change a whole society or people's behavior? That's a difficult question that I can't really answer, but I would think more traffic lights everywhere where it's a clear distinction between driving and, you know, walking, or when a moped could make a left turn, because here we have separate lights for going straight and going left, for example. So we have more lights here, apparently, and we are very clear on when you can walk. I would say that in America we jaywalk sometimes, and when I was in Poland a couple weeks ago, I was observing that there's no jaywalking in Poland at all. Like, people are just waiting for the light, and I'm like kind of impatient. I'm like, come on guys, like, there's no cars here. Even if there's no cars, they would just wait. So, you know, that's a cultural thing. That's ingrained in people, and that's kind of ingrained in, I think, watching the flow of traffic in different countries kind of tells you how people flow in a way, like how they follow their cultural rules. Although, yeah, I don't know, how would you tell Taiwanese? I guess just more traffic lights and clear, like we have here, like walk, you know, like that makes it really clear. When sometimes it says it's for blind people, and sometimes there's like a deet, or, you know, for blind people, but there's the flashing display of walk. There's different ways that in the United States we make it really clear that you can walk. And then we also have, you know, I don't know what their lights are like. We have the red, then you have the yellow, you have the green.
They have that as well.
Okay. How do you control an entire population of people that have a habit of doing things a certain way? I don't really know. I mean, I guess posting signs everywhere, maybe having pedestrian safety classes mandatory to government people in government jobs or something. I don't know. The best thing I can think of is just making sure that there's traffic lights everywhere, and making clear when it's turn to walk and when it's a turn to drive.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
If you were out there, do you have any advice on how to make it safer in terms of being a pedestrian? Thinking about what you know here, or any of your personal experiences.
I don't think I saw any like, you know, signals of any type there. I didn't recall seeing much red light, green light going on, or pausing or walking, or a cross guard. You know what I mean? Like, I have a cross guard or something there. The lines are painted real good. I'll tell you that. But you know what? It didn't look like people were blasting through, speeding super fast, because they know that people are constantly crossing. Everybody seen anybody like, you know, it seemed like they're just used to it, you know.
Sure.
Where I hear San Francisco, or, you know, I can only speak for San Francisco really, it's just people are just blasting down my block sometimes, just full speed, and it's a neighborhood where kids could be running out chasing the ball and they could hit them, you know.
Sure.
So it seems like they're more probably family oriented out there, so people are trying to get where they're going, but at the same time they know that it's controlled chaos. So I'm gonna go with controlled chaos for Taiwan.
All righty, thank you.
You're welcome.
So last question, how do you think we can make pedestrians feel more safe in Taiwan, United States, hell, worldwide?
Stop making cars.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.